I'd like to call to order the Sparks City Council budget meeting with a roll call, please.
Okay, Mayor Martini,
Here.
council members Ratty,
Here.
Lawson,
Here.
Smith,
Here.
Kerrigan,
Here.
Schmidt,
Here.
City Attorney Adams, here. City Manager Kerrigan,
Kerrigan? I'm
Carrie.
here. Oh.
and Acting
promoted.
City Clerk Donna. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Comments from the public. Anyone want to speak under comments from the public? Seeing none, we'll move on. Recommendation minutes, there's none. Number 4, public hearing as required by NRS 354.596 to allow public comment on the tentative budget of the City of Sparks for fiscal year 13-14. Mr. Let me see, Cronk.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you? So as you know, this is the day per NRS that we're required to have a public hearing on our tentative budget. So that's why it's listed first. The tentative budget was filed on April 15th as per statutes. And then we'll be following that up with a recommendation and approval of the final budget after that. But for right now, it's a public hearing on the tentative budget.
Okay. That's all you need?
That's all I need right now.
All right, this is a public hearing, so I'll open it to the public. Anybody want to speak on this particular item? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to council. Okay, we don't need any action on this one, right?
Correct.
Go ahead, number 5, consideration possible adoption of a final budget.
Okay. Following the tentative or the public hearing on the tentative budget, we are now presenting to you the final budget that's in your packet, and that reflects everything that we had talked about on April 22nd. No changes occurred since then. So again, you have in your packet the actual form that is the final budget that we will be seeking signatures on upon ratification for fiscal 14. And that's a sense what I'm got for you today.
Okay. Questions for Jeff? Do we need to have a public hearing on? We don't need a
Not a public hearing on the final,
Okay.
just on the tentative.
Mr. Schmidt?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Jeff, I just want to put it on record on how much we're deficit spending for this next fiscal year. How much are we taking below the 8.3 ending fund balance?
We'll be sitting at 6.6% is what's included in the budget. So it's about ends up being about $900,000 or about $800,000 below the 8.3%.
I just want to make it, that public record that we're spending, $900,000 of savings below 8.3% to balance this budget, and that has to be made up sometime throughout the year to have 8.3, and it affects every single employee, everybody next year, because
That's correct.
you either pay today or you pay tomorrow. So thank you.
Questions? Anyone else? Okay, if not, looking for a motion. Ms. Ratty?
Move to adopt the final budget for the City of Sparks as presented today for the fiscal year 2013-2014.
Mr. Smith?
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman Ratty, seconded by Councilman Smith to approve the budget for 2013-14. Any further questions? Seeing none, please vote. Passes 4-1. Passes 4-1. Mr. Schmidt, no. Okay, comments from the public. Anyone in the public like to make a comment? Comments from the city council or city manager? Did I what? That's somebody else. Somebody else is in charge of that.
Sorry. It's early. I'm not used to meeting at this
Okay,
time.
seeing no further comments and no further business, we're adjourned.
You want to run with this?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call the order of the Sparks Redevelopment Agency budget meeting for 5/21/13 with a roll call, please.
I get chastised when I do it right.
Chairman Smith,
Oh, here.
agency members Ratty,
Here.
Lawson, Martini,
Here.
Kerrigan,
Here.
Schmidt,
Here.
Acting Manager Carey,
Here.
Acting Agency Attorney Adams,
Here.
Acting Agency Secretary Donna DeCarlo. We have a quorum.
Okay, I'll open up this period to the public. Anybody in the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the agency. There are no minutes to approve. So number 4, public hearing as required by NRS 354.596 to allow public comment on the tentative budgets of the redevelopment agencies of Sparks. Anybody wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the agency. Number 5, Mr. Cronk.
Same as before. This again is the final budget for both redevelopment agency areas 1 and 2. And again, in your packet is the full form for both of those. And we have included in there within the budget message a recap of what's planned and included in the budget for both areas. And again, that in essence is what I have for you today. Open
Any
to
questions or comments? Mr. Schmidt?
Mr. Chair, Jeff, we're balanced this year. We can pay our bills and everything based upon the budget we have. Next year, continuing the path we're going on, is when we go into deficit, so we have to change our budget. And about how much next year do we have to cut out this budget?
It's different. So in redevelopment area 1, we're balanced, and I'm not expecting a general fund subsidy probably until 15 or 16, pending property tax receipts.
Okay.
Redevelopment 2 is where we're going to start the general fund subsidy, and we actually started that a little bit in fiscal 13 to the tune of about $200,000, but quite a bit larger starting in fiscal 14 to the tune of about $750,000, and it'll stay to that level until fiscal 17 when the debt matures. And then beginning in fiscal 18 for redevelopment area 2, that should be self-sustaining.
And so redevelopment area 1 is going to be sustainable till 15, 16?
That's what it's looking like, yes.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Mr. Kerrigan?
Let's go to redevelopment District 2 and get it on the record. So how much are we putting in from the general fund to subsidize redevelopment District 2, and why are we doing it?
Next year to the tune of about $750,000.
Okay.
Generally to cover the debt service that's not being supported within the redevelopment area, debt that has been issued in the city's name but being paid for by the redevelopment agency.
Okay, so if we had that $750,000 back in the general fund, will we hit 8.3?
Not quite, but close.
Pretty close, right?
Yes.
Okay. And and the reason for it is because we don't have enough to cover the debt?
Yes.
So the tax increment in that redevelopment district went away someplace, correct?
Well, it didn't go away. It just didn't grow to the tune that we were expecting.
There
when
was
we
$6
issued the
million
debt.
that went out of that tax district. Is that not true?
You mean from assessed value or?
No, I'm talking about from the bonds. Somebody took out some tax increment financing, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay, any more questions or comments? Looking for a motion.
Move to approve, Mr. Chair.
Okay, we have a motion. Second. And a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Comments from the agency members. Anybody want to have anything to say? Okay, seeing none, I'll open up the public comment. Anybody in the public wishing to speak at this time? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the agency, and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Good job there, Hope.